Primero que nada, les quiero decir que hay algunas partes de mi cuerpo que son sintéticas y que mis amigos cirujanos me hicieron el favor de instalar. Lamento decepcionarlos, no son las que están pensando. Y tengo un montón de fierritos por todo el cuerpo que me hacen ser mitad humano, mitad máquina. Déjenme les platico cómo es que eso pasó. La verdad es que ser un niño de hospital es algo increíble, yo me la pasé maravilloso. Les voy a pedir que se acuerden cuando ustedes eran niños, cuál era su juguete favorito. O a lo mejor un juguete que no tenían, pero con el que soñaban, tal vez era un gadget, una bicicleta, un carro, un robot, no lo sé. ¿Ya se acordaron? Bueno, déjenme les presumo de uno de mis favoritos. Este juguete tenía luces, piezas que se movían, un montón de partes increíbles. A veces la hacía de máquina en el tiempo, a veces la hacía de cohete espacial. Se veía más o menos así. ¿Ya les dio envidia? Hoy, esta semana, este mes, este año, te ha valido lo suficiente para que a ti se te quite la sonrisa y la emoción de estar vivo. Se los dejo de tarea. Gracias.
Today we have the great opportunity to be with a very famous person, but a wonderful human being. Let's receive Sarah Lerma with our greatest welcome. Sarah, welcome to our program.
Mauricio, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk with such an insightful person. And before we do anything, I really want to thank you for talking about such important topics and putting them out there. It's truly an honor to be here with you today.
Thank you so much. For the persons watching this video clip, it's important to mention that Sarah is a TV radio executive producer. She is a keynote speaker. She has an expertise on public speaking. She speaks a lot about leadership development, and also she has wonderful skills on social media with CEO and artificial intelligence for marketing strategies. So again, welcome to our program, my dear Sarah.
Thank you so much, Mauricio. Again, it's an honor, and I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to discussing all these amazing topics with you today.
There is something very special in you. I consider you a miracle. You know why?
I think I can guess.
Can you let us know what happened when you were a little girl?
Absolutely. And you know, it's funny that you call me a miracle because my neurosurgeon likes to call me a reheated corpse. But I think that at the end, it's about the same thing. So what happened is that when I was little, we had a very serious car accident where my brain and many parts of my body, including my spine, got severely damaged. So 5 minutes went by, 10 minutes went by, and I was still there. I wasn't gone. Then the ambulance came. They took me to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, they had to defibrillate me a couple times. But then I ended up making it all the way to the hospital. When we got there, the expert doctors in this case were neuro experts, neurosurgeons, neurologists, told my parents again that they needed to basically say their goodbyes. They were gonna keep me comfortable for as long as I was there, but it wasn't gonna last. So they basically kept on telling my parents this for weeks, months, years, and well, I am 34 years old, almost right now, and I'm still here. But I do have a lot of replacement parts. So my brain works through an automatic valve that measures things like oxygen, intracranial pressure, and it brings up and down whatever it needs. I also have a bunch of hoses on my thorax, and my right knee is a prosthesis. So it's really fun because I'm kind of a cyborg.
Incredible. And here you are.
Here I am.
So that's why I consider that you are a miracle and a wonderful testimony for human beings.
And you know what I think is really important about this, Mauricio? Like, people always tell us you need to live your life and enjoy everything you do, enjoy every day, because you're gonna die one day. That's why I really like to tell my story, because I hope it could remind others of really how short and fragile this human experience is. And we really need to try to make the most of it. There's always gonna be issues, there's always gonna be challenges that we need to overcome. But hey, As long as we're here, we can have a little fun.
That's the reason why you develop such a wonderful skills like public relations and becoming a speaker, because you spread all your testimony of life with many different people.
Yeah, I actually started doing public speaking to parents of children, and I really like to tell parents from my experience about how children who live in hospitals, we're happy. We don't know anything else. This is normal for us. And as long as you don't teach these children that they are abnormal or that they are sick, for us, it's just what our life looks like. So that's how we got started. Seeing the impact that I could have positively in these families really inspired me to expand to other topics and other audiences.
When was the first time that you were involved with radio and TV programs?
When I was 6 years old, I started working with some theater companies. When they need children on stage, that will always be me during that time in my hometown. So that really helped me to let go of being afraid of being in front of audiences and speaking, etc. And my school, my elementary school, had a weekly radio show where children were allowed to speak. So my first time being on radio constantly started when I was 7 years old. So from 7 years old until I was 12, I was on this 1 hour show that my school hosted every Saturday, and I loved it.
Once that you get used to, you love it. I completely understand that, because you know what? I was smiling because while you were speaking, you made me remember that when I was a teacher, because I used to be an English teacher in the past, long time ago, in those particular years of my life, I set up a project to help students to become better speakers.
That's
because
awesome.
in Latin America, we don't really have good speakers. So you need to help young teenagers to be away from scenic panics or things like that. These kind of normal feelings that kids have at the moment of when they experience the opportunity of speaking in public. So I got the idea of trying to build a radio station and a TV station inside of the school.
That is amazing.
Exactly the way that you start. Because in your elementary school, you receive the opportunity to be part of these programs. Congratulations. This is an amazing story.
Well, this is my personal experience, but thank you for building something like that for those children, because then you just multiplied it. You did what it did for me for probably hundreds of teenagers. So that is pretty amazing. A leader is someone who also wants the member of the team to get better. Someone who wants their team to grow and learn so much that they will eventually leave. And then you can just uplift others, a new team. I feel like that is an essential quality of a leader, to be that giving and that unselfish, to understand that helping other people get better and not just be paranoid of seeing everyone as competition, but as bettering the industry, bettering the environment, bettering just humans in general. Whatever you can help that is within your reach, that will ultimately create a better world and a better community, not only for yourself, but also for your family and everyone within the scope of that.
If you have the qualities of a leader and you never share, then it's going to be a waste of time, right?
Absolutely, then you're a tyrant.
Now, speaking about your expertise and skills, I have listened that ChatGPT is going to be the future of marketing strategy. Can you explain us, please?
Absolutely, and I'm so happy that you asked about this, because I am obsessed with ChatGPT right now. ChatGPT is basically, it was created by OpenAI, it's the name of the company. And what it is, put it simply, it's a text generator that imitates human communication. So you ask the chat to write something for you, and there is no limit on what you can get. You can get scripts, you can get captions, you can ask for SEO content, so you don't even have to look it up anymore or research it, but you just ask specifically for optimize search engine content for a specific industry. If you work outside of the marketing environment, say you work in healthcare, you can do things like patient descriptions or orders. You can enter what the patient needs to take medication wise, and then it will give you a full detail like a scope of what the patient needs to do. It can write contracts, it can write legal documents, it can write financial documents, predictions, things about weather for meteorologists. Like, there is no end. But the trick, as easy as it sounds with ChatGPT, is knowing how to use the tool.
Is this one a computer program or an application? And is it expensive for companies and personal business to use this technology?
Well, Mauricio, I'm glad you're sitting down, because I'm gonna tell you that right now it's free.
Tell us, you're using all these technologies in order to help businesses to develop their presence online?
I really like working with startups and smaller companies, because that's where we can really make a difference for them, right? This is a family, and these are people with dreams. They're not huge companies that don't really need help anymore. So it's
so people who are starting from scratch. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, small companies, entrepreneurs, and startups that are just beginning. That's where I really, really like to help, because we can really make a difference for people, for their family. Yeah, if you go work for a really big company, maybe you can get the big salary really easy, but you're not really making a difference. They don't need help anymore, but startups do.
Great, that's very interesting to know. Thank you so much for the input and the information that you're sharing with us. It is very valuable, and I think that all the viewers and people who are watching this interview will be immediately rushing in order to visit the site that you just mentioned that is using artificial intelligence. Before we finish this interesting conversation, I would appreciate very much if you leave a message for our viewers, for young entrepreneurs, for young business people. Let us know what might be your message for all of them.
If you're here, if you're alive, if you're missing money, if you're missing a finger, if you're late on rent, sure, it sucks. But hey, you're here and you get to try again. So don't let these little things that you probably won't remember in 1 year take out your willingness to enjoy your day. It's a decision only you can make. So that's what I want to leave you with.
You're amazing, and for me it has been a special moment because I have learned a lot. So I'm glad to hear all this testimony today. Thanks for your time, and I invite you really to continue doing the same for all the people, and especially for giving your smile, offering your smile to the public, to your friends, to people, people who are trying to listen this kind of testimonies and this kind of messages from young executives, successful executives maybe. Okay?
Thank you so much, Mauricio. It's really been an honor speaking to you, and I hope it's not the last time.
No, it's not going to be the last time, and I really wish you a huge prosperity in your life. And of course, we're going to be in contact. Maybe in the near future, I'm going to be calling you to continue making these kind of productions. All right?
Hey, you heard him. Now he needs to fulfill that promise.
Of course. Before we leave, I need to recognize that I forgot to mention that you're also a successful writer.